Drunk at a family dinner, I slammed the table. I gave Lu Feifei that scar on her thigh. Her mom laughed. Then be my son-in-law, Feifei scoffed. I would rather become a nun than marry that jerk. I would not marry you if you were the last woman alive. Years later, I returned from abroad. My parents sent me to get her for dinner. At the bar, her new boyfriend shoved me. He said a toad wanting swan meat should not dream so big. Everyone knows Lu Feifei has incredibly high standards. She never even glances at other guys. Suddenly, a voice interrupted. What happened? Ah, Chen, why are you here? Haha, not bad. I thought you completely forgot about me. I cannot believe this idiot actually dares to date Miss Lu. What is going on here today? You just got back and you are already throwing a massive temper tantrum. Do you have any idea what I went through just to find you tonight? Wait, am I seeing things? Is this guy standing in front of me really the famous Miss Lu? Okay. Your hair is an absolute mess. Is that homeless artist look trending abroad now? This is entirely your fault. What did I do? I just found out you were back, okay? Your new boyfriend is something else. I came inside looking for you, and he started shoving me around. Feifei, your taste in men is truly amazing. Han Xuan, you actually touched him? Who gave you the right to put your hands on him? Miss Lu, please let me explain. He was being so arrogant, and why does he get to use your full name? He was disrespecting you. I just got angry, and why does he get to? Because I said so. How he addresses me is none of your business. I was absolutely furious earlier, but hearing her defend me made my chest swell with pride. I had a crush on Lu Feifei for years. I had never seen a guy act so arrogant right in front of her. Even her past boyfriends had to call her Miss Lu. She never made exceptions for anyone. Miss Lu, I seriously had no idea. I did not know his relationship with you was that close. I am so sorry. I swear I did not know. I originally wanted to teach this guy a lesson. But, for now, honestly though, this idiot was smart enough to know her well. He knew that right now. Begging for mercy was his only way out. Fine, handle it yourself. Han Xian, tell me, what exactly should I do with you? I am so sorry. It is my fault. I should not have attacked him blindly. Okay, stop hitting him. If we keep this up, we are just going to look like bullies. Come on, let us go home. You guys keep partying if you want. If not, just head out. I am leaving. By the way, where is my phone, Miss Lu? Your phone is right here. Seeing that screen, my earlier frustration over her ignoring my calls boiled over. Feifei, I called your phone earlier, and you seriously did not recognize my voice. I took a cab here with zero cash. I tried calling you for help, and you completely ignored me. Just recycle that stupid phone. The private room was super loud. It is completely normal that I could not hear you. What is going on with you anyway? You suddenly fly back home and track me down this late? Is there something important you need to say? Usually when I fly back for the holidays, she never rushes out to see me like this. Ah, Chen, did you suddenly realize you were in love with me? You came rushing over and fought my ex-boyfriend tonight. Come on, are you trying to confess your feelings to me? Your skin is getting thicker by the day. Cannot even take a joke anymore? America really killed your sense of humor. I am in a terrible mood tonight. You actually dare to joke around with me right now? You are asking for trouble. Spill it. What do you want? I need you to open the door. I do not have your keys. Just give a call to my mom. Not only will someone open the door, but the whole staff will line up to welcome you. Wait a second. Which house are you talking about? You do not mean my current apartment. Yes, your apartment. Obviously. Why else would I be hunting you down? I shot her a look of pure disdain. Why are you crashing at my place? It is late. If you just need a bed, go bother my mother.
Why me?
Deep down, I already sensed something was very wrong here. I prayed I was just being paranoid. I wanted to be wrong. Wait, so you had no idea either? My godmother set us both up. Relax, okay? I am a victim here too. I completely understand how you are feeling right now. What is even happening? Why am I suddenly being forced to live under the same roof as Gu Chen? I honestly cannot accept this. Even if he is my childhood best friend, I still hate this. This has to be a joke, right? I kept my mouth shut, deciding to be considerate and give Lu Feifei a moment to process the shocking news. I stood there quietly waiting. Suddenly, a guy stormed right up to me. He glared aggressively. Hey kid, hand over the cash. Are you trying to dodge the bill? It was my taxi driver. I suddenly realized that in my rush earlier, I jumped out without paying. I am so sorry, man. I will pay you right now. I knew my pockets were completely empty, so I yanked Feifei over. Feifei, let me borrow some cash. I am completely broke. I cannot even cover my taxi fare. Seriously, look. To prove my point, I dramatically pulled both of my empty pockets inside out right in front of her, digging through them, then spreading my hands. Feifei looked absolutely speechless. She walked over to the driver inside. Sir, how much was his fare? I will cover it. The driver looked her up and down, zeroing in on her designer handbag. His eyes practically lit up with greed. He had totally hit the jackpot tonight. This rich, naive girl was an easy target. He could bleed her dry.
Hey there, gorgeous.
Your handsome boyfriend racked up a $480 fare. Just scan the payment code right here. I instantly bolted forward, absolutely furious. Your meter clearly said 48. Where did 480 come from? I will report you to the company, man. I was ready to start cursing, but Feifei just calmly stepped up to the driver. Her voice was suspiciously sweet. 488? Let me scan that for you. Oh, perfect. You can just scan right here, she smirked. I saved the digital receipt. I have a feeling we are going to need it. The driver's greedy smile instantly vanished. He went dead pale. He originally thought he could easily scam us out of some cash. He never expected her trap. I am so sorry. Please do not report me. I have kids and elderly parents to feed. If I lose this job, I am ruined. Please just let me off the hook. Feifei completely ignored his pathetic crying. She quickly dialed her phone. Seconds later, her massive bodyguards arrived. This scammer is annoying me. Handle it. Do not worry, Mrs. Liu. Consider it done. The bodyguard turned around and completely ignored the driver's frantic screaming. They forcefully dragged him away. I watched her men pull him straight into a dark alley. I definitely heard a muffled scream. Let us go home. I nodded quietly and hopped into her expensive ride. Suddenly, the engine roared to life. We bolted away from the club. Soon we pulled up to Feifei's luxury penthouse apartment. I grabbed my bags, but my feet suddenly stopped. I turned back around to face her. Hey, could you scan my fingerprint into the smart lock? It will just make opening the door easier, she scoffed. Absolutely not. Why would I register your print? I dropped my bags and crossed my arms, mimicking her defensive stance. Because starting today, I am officially living here. If you do not give me access, how am I supposed to get inside? I slowly stepped closer, leaning right by her ear to tease her. Or is the great Miss Liu planning to be my personal little maid? Dropping everything just to open and shut this door for me all day? Wait, living here? Who said you were living here? Did you even ask for my permission? This is my absolute private sanctuary. Look, I know we are childhood friends, but that does not mean I want you invading my personal space. I scoffed. Your mom told me to crash here. You think I wanted this? Wait, Gu Chen, earlier you said my mother set me up. What exactly did you mean by that? Does it have to do with this? Wow, Miss Liu is finally catching on. I nodded proudly. I teased her, but honestly, I did not want her to explode. I sighed and explained seriously. It is because you and I are about to get engaged. They want us living together so we can spark a little romance. Feifei stared at me like I was insane. What did you just say? Me and you engaged? What kind of sick joke is this? Anyway, that is just how it is. If you want the full story, go interrogate your mom yourself. I am totally exhausted. Honestly, I can barely keep my eyes open. I am going to bed. Good night. I waved her off and dragged my suitcases inside. Lu Feifei yanked me right back. You better explain yourself first, or you're not leaving. I just let her pull me down and flopped onto the couch. I didn't say a single word, I just lay there like a log, using my pure silence to prove how absolutely exhausted I really was. She was just as annoying as when we were kids. Nothing had changed. I'll call home tomorrow. My mom can take you back to the old house. I'm staying right here. Hearing that, I shot right up. I sat up from the sofa and scratched my head in total confusion. Didn't I just tell you? I'm living with you starting today. Can't you understand human speech? Lu Feifei snapped right back at me. I will never agree to this whole engagement thing. Well, if you won't agree to it, go tell your parents and Grandpa Lu yourself. I don't get to call the shots here. Hearing that, she frowned hard. Wait, Grandpa's involved in this too? What is this utter mess? She looked completely frustrated. I threw out a suggestion. Why don't you just go back the night after tomorrow? If you don't get it, just ask them directly. Lu Feifei still looked pretty bitter about the whole thing. Why do you get to stay out of it? No way, you are coming back with me. I threw my hands up, totally uncaring. Sure. She has to accept the final outcome anyway. Going back works for me. Honestly, the scene is probably going to be super chaotic. No need to worry about being bored this time. Oh, right. You're heading to campus tomorrow morning, right? Don't forget to wake me up. Why would you go to the university with me? I sat on the couch, flashing her a big grin. Because starting tomorrow, I'm transferring to your school. Lu Feifei froze in place, staring at me like, are you actually serious? I totally ignored her shock, just happily humming a little tune. I strolled into the bathroom. After I finished washing up and threw on my pajamas, I shouted something to Lu Feifei about going to morning. Even though she was completely against it, she couldn't just ditch me. So, she dragged me along to campus anyway. Lu Feifei goes to this elite private university. The grounds are so gorgeous it doesn't even look like a school, more like a luxury villa resort. When we were still a few hundred meters away, I yelled out, "Stop, stop, stop! Drop me off right here." Lu Feifei stopped the car, giving me a completely confused look. We aren't at the school yet. Why are you getting out? I raised an eyebrow, gave her a smirk, and replied, because I'm actually smart. Look at you, Miss Liu. You're basically a campus celebrity. If people see me walking into the university right beside you, my peaceful days are completely over. So, to avoid the drama, I'm just going to get out early. Lu Feifei frowned, looking even more lost. What on earth was this nonsense? Even though she had no clue what I was talking about, she clearly wasn't going to let me off the hook. Oh, Gu Chen, did studying abroad make you a coward? Are you actually scared of trouble, or just terrified to be near me? She leaned in close, fully ready to laugh at my expense. Her unique perfume drifted right under my nose. My ears burned red. I looked away quickly and shouted, "No way, why would I be scared of them? Lu Feifei, do you seriously think that little of me? Hearing my loud comeback, Lu Feifei flashed a wicked little smile. Then let's go. Walk into the campus with me. Fine, let's go. Whoever backs out is a dog. She didn't say another word, just hit the gas and drove straight onto the grounds. The second we hit the parking lot, I ignored her, hopped out, and walked off. I wandered around the university, half waiting for her, totally lost. Just as I spun around to head back, I slammed right into a girl wearing glasses. She let out a soft groan. Her bright eyes welled up with tears. I looked at her in a panic. I'm so sorry, you okay? I'm fine, she said. I wasn't looking either. Are you new here? I've never seen you around the campus. Yeah, I guess so. Today is actually my very first day here. Well, since you're a new student, how about I show you around the campus? Did you come by yourself? Are you with someone? I was about to say I came with Lu Feifei, but I was still annoyed and didn't want to bring her up. So I just said, I came alone. Thanks so much for the help. I'm Chen. What's your name? The girl's eyes curved into a sweet smile. Hi Chen, I'm Zhou Miao. So, we walked and chatted the whole way. The vibe between us was honestly great. Meanwhile, Lu Feifei had parked her car. When she walked out and couldn't find me, she frowned hard. I thought, Chen, you are absolutely impossible to deal with. Such a massive headache. Did I actually get a fiancé, or am I just raising a little brother? She let out a heavy sigh, stood there for a minute, and then whipped out her phone to call me. But I never picked up. She had no choice but to call the principal to explain everything, then went hunting for me around campus. Over on my end, my phone had been dead for ages. I had zero clue she was going crazy searching for me. Chen, you absolute jerk. Just wait until I catch you. Meanwhile, Zhou Miao and I were having a fantastic time chatting. I found out her grades were insane, always ranking first in the whole school. I couldn't help but tease her. In a place like this kind of elite college, there has to be some sort of campus beauty ranking. Right? Look at you, Zhou Miao. You're pretty super sweet and the top student. You've got to be the campus queen, right? Chen, thank you for the compliment, but I'm really not the campus beauty. I don't qualify for that at all. No way. If you don't count, Zhou Miao, if someone as gorgeous as you isn't the campus queen, wait a second. Is the campus queen Lu Feifei? Hearing that name, Zhou Miao looked down, pushed up her glasses, and mumbled, You know about her. She's super popular here, isn't she? I heard she goes through boyfriends like water. You're a big deal here too. Even in different grades, you guys must know each other, right? We've met, but we aren't close. She really does have tons of boyfriends. Any guy with a decent face, she wants to date him. Do you like her too? Her? She's a total idiot. I don't like her at all. Seriously. She probably thought I was just another one of Lu Feifei's obsessed fans. But when I brought her up, there was absolutely zero admiration or longing on my face. She must have thought I was a pretty interesting guy. I am not into her type at all, honestly. If I had to choose, you're way better than her. What's so great about her anyway? She just relies on being rich and pretty. Her personality is terrible. Whoever actually likes her is doomed. This was definitely the first time Zhou Miao had heard anyone talk about Lu Feifei like that. She stared at me, totally stunned, like I was some kind of alien. Seeing my absolutely disgusted expression, she couldn't hold back a laugh. You're really funny. She warmed up to me after that, dropping all that awkward distance. I quickly took the chance to get closer. I still don't know what class I'm in. Zhou Miao, which class are you in? I can come hang out with you later. I just got back to the country. If I'm confused about anything, can I find you? A gorgeous, brilliant top student like Zhou Miao, who I actually clicked with, was definitely someone worth befriending. Having a few smart, capable friends is never a bad thing, especially for the future. Sure, my classroom is on the 3rd floor. If you need help, just come find me. I glanced around the university grounds. There wasn't a single soul in sight. Everyone must have gone to class. I turned back to Zhou Miao. I won't keep you from class then. A transfer student like me needs to report to the principal's office. I'll catch you later. Bye. I waved and headed straight for the admin building. Meanwhile, over in the principal's office, the guy totally froze when he saw me. He quickly jumped up, bending over backward to offer me fruit and drinks. Young Master Gu, please, have a seat and wait a moment. He rushed into the hall to call Lu Feifei, letting her know my location. Miss Lu, young Master Gu is in my office right now. Hearing her acknowledge the news, he practically groveled into the phone. Oh, perfect, Miss Lu. No need to come all the way over here. Just head to class. I'll have a teacher escort young Master Gu to his room shortly. Only after Lu Feifei finally hung up did the principal breathe a huge sigh of relief. He scurried back inside and made another call. A moment later, a guy walked in. Black-rimmed glasses, super strict looking. He asked the principal respectfully, Principal, you needed to see me? This is our brand new transfer student, Chen. Chen previously attended a very elite private high school overseas, and his grades are absolutely outstanding. Take him to his class. He is a key priority for this university. Understood? The male teacher wasn't stupid. He caught the hidden meaning instantly. Understood. He immediately led me out of the office. Soon enough, I followed him right to my new classroom door. Honestly, when I heard that principal call my grades outstanding, it took everything in me not to burst out laughing. Whatever. I only came back to the country to study, just to mess around anyway, so none of it really mattered. The teacher led me inside with a proud smile. Everyone, this is our new transfer student, Gu Chen. Please, introduce yourself. Hey everyone, let me introduce myself. I'm Gu Chen. I'm a guy. I like girls. Nice to meet you all. Hearing my introduction, the whole class cracked up and started whispering. I scanned the room, looking for a pretty girl. Obviously, I wanted to sit next to someone cute. At least it's nice to look at, I thought. Maybe because it's a private school, I actually spotted quite a few beauties. Too bad I just met Zhou Miao, so compared to her, they didn't really cut it. Then Mr. Wei cleared his throat. Gu Chen, who do you want to sit with? As long as she agrees. You can pick anyone. The second the teacher said that, the girls jumped up excitedly, talking over each other. Gu Chen, sit with me. I'll buy you breakfast every single day. I get great grades. Sit with me. I'll tutor you and buy you whatever snacks you want. Hey handsome, I'll do whatever you say. The moment she said that, the rest of the class booed her. I thought they were pretty funny. I paused then asked, who's the prettiest girl in our class? Surprisingly, everyone froze, then stared at one specific desk. But their expressions looked super weird. I followed their gaze to the very back row by the window. Was the prettiest girl absent today? I had to choose the best. Both seats over there were empty, so I smiled, walked right over, and sat down. Mr. Wei, I'll just sit here. His expression looked pretty awkward as he stammered. Sit there if you want. All right, quiet down. Take care of the new student, everyone. Be friendly, got it? Let's get back to class. Honestly, nobody was paying attention anymore. The girls kept sneaking glances at me, while the guys were sizing me up like rivals. After class, I got bored and decided to find Lu Feifei, just to see what kind of easy life she was living. I headed straight for her classroom on the second floor. Scanning the room, I easily spotted her. Damn it, she was literally flirting with some random guy. I mean, we are officially engaged now. It is perfectly normal for me to feel a little bit jealous, right? Or so I thought. She was going way too far. She knew it was my first day, and I didn't know my way around at all. I walked so far with Zhou Miao, and she didn't even bother to look for me. Instead, she was busy flirting with some boy. I was absolutely furious. Then, an idea popped into my head. All right, Lu Feifei, if you want to play dirty, then don't blame me for what happens next. Just wait. Hey, excuse me, could you call Lu Feifei for me? Just tell her that her husband is looking for her. Thank you. The girl nodded frantically. Oh sure, okay, I'll go get her right now. You're so cute.
Lu Feifei, your husband is here looking for you.
The loud, chaotic classroom instantly went dead silent. I could perfectly picture everyone's eyes practically popping out of their heads. A few minutes later, Lu Feifei stomped over with a totally blank expression. I waved to show her where I was. Gu Chen, I knew it was you. Are you just here to cause trouble? Lu Feifei, you were busy talking to other guys and totally ignored me. When we go home tonight, I'm telling my godmother all about it. Lu Feifei just let out a heavy sigh. Gu Chen, what is your problem? I haven't even yelled at you for this morning yet. You ran off and ignored my calls. Do you know how hard I searched for you? She glared at me, looking totally wronged. I completely ignored her angry puppy dog eyes and just kept peeking behind her. Sure enough, that guy she was flirting with had followed her out. He was watching us. Bingo. Feeling wicked, I immediately pulled her into a tight hug. That guy saw what I did and his face instantly turned bright red. He clenched his fists but didn't dare step up. He knew her rules. As I led her away, he could only grind his teeth in pure anger. I pulled her through the crowd. Lu Feifei finally snapped out of it, smacked my hand off her shoulder, and glared at me. Who gave you the right to pull a stunt like that? Have I just been way too nice to you? She snapped. Hey, I'm innocent here, I replied. I saw you looking awful close with that guy and I got jealous. I only did it to scare him off so he'd keep his distance. Plus, I wanted everyone to know you're my fiancé. I really didn't mean any harm. Forgive me? I'll buy you food, I begged. Gu Chen, can you please just behave and stop causing drama? I just want to go to class in peace. Can you at least give me that? I immediately changed the subject. Are you hungry? Let's go grab some food. Then we can head to class. Without waiting, I dragged her toward the cafeteria. Once we got there, she spotted her friends, waved me off, and walked right over to them. That left me totally alone. Just as I was stressing over the lack of empty tables, I noticed a girl eating quietly by herself. I walked over and asked, Hey, the cafeteria is completely full. Do you mind if I share this table? She just stared at me for a long moment before giving a soft, sure. As I sat down, I sneaked a glance at her perfect features. Wow, she was stunning. That cold, distant vibe of hers was actually incredibly attractive. It made me want to figure her out. I kept my mouth shut and just finished my food quickly. Back in the classroom, the first afternoon period was literature. That's when I realized my mysterious absent deskmate had finally shown up. I took a closer look. Wait, wasn't that the girl I just shared a table with? I grinned and whispered, what a crazy coincidence. We meet again. She didn't say a word, just gave me a cold glance and nodded to show she remembered me. Naturally, I pushed my luck. What's your name? I'm Guchen, I just transferred here. She stayed totally silent and just frowned. Seeing her completely ignore me just triggered my rebellious side. Now I wanted to talk to her even more. Come on, what's your name? Finally, looking totally annoyed, she scribbled the name Yushin on a piece of paper and tossed it over to me. Once I had her name, I stopped bothering her. Honestly, that class was basically sleeping pill for me. I kept nodding off. Meanwhile, Yushin sat there paying perfect attention. I even got called on by the teacher to answer a question. Finally, the torture ended. The second the teacher walked out, I stretched my arms and decided to take a massive nap. I passed out completely dead to the world. When Yushin finally patted me awake, I suddenly realized we were the only two people left in the entire classroom. Yushin looked at me coldly. School is over. Are you planning to keep sleeping? Seeing my confused face, she actually let out a soft chuckle. If you don't leave right now, the security guard is going to lock the doors. You really want to spend the night here? I instantly shook my head and scrambled up to leave. Just as I reached the door, I looked back at her. Thanks for waking me up. I'll get going now. It's getting pretty late. You should hurry up and head out, too. It's not safe for a girl to walk home in the dark, right? With that, I just walked out, leaving Yushin sitting alone at her desk, staring at the door with a faint smile. Once I was out of the classroom, I pulled out my phone to see where Lu Feifei was. I called her a bunch of times, but she completely ignored it. Seriously, what on earth was she doing now? Didn't we agree to head back to the Lu family estate tonight? When I finally got a hold of her, she just casually brushed me off. I'm already at the old mansion. You better hurry up. The whole family is waiting for you to start dinner. Why didn't she just bring me with her? Wow, Lu Feifei, you are really something else. Just wait until I get back to the house. I'm definitely telling my godmother exactly what you did. Just you wait. I stomped over to the school gate to hail a cab. While I was waiting, I kicked a few rocks around out of pure boredom. That's when I saw Yushin slowly walking out of the campus gates. We both totally froze when we made eye contact. At the exact same time, we both blurted out, "Why haven't you left yet?" Just then, a sleek black car pulled up to the curb. As she was about to get in, she noticed me still standing by the street. She paused for a second, then finally gathered the courage to ask, "Where are you heading? Do you need a ride somewhere? This school is pretty far from the city." I waved my hand. "Oh no, I'm good. My ride should be here any minute now. You go on ahead. I'll catch you tomorrow." Yushin's car pulled away, and mine rolled up right after. I told the driver to head to Tanshan Courtyard. Soon, I stepped out at the old Lu family estate. Approaching the villa gates, I spotted a full row of maids standing at attention. "Welcome back, young master," they shouted in unison. Startled by the grand reception, I just waved and headed inside. Pop, pop, pop! I jumped as confetti suddenly rained down all over me. "Ah, Chen is back!" someone cheered. Seeing Lu Feifei and me standing there together, our mom smiled warmly and dragged us right into the banquet hall. The place was decked out for a massive celebration, packed with formally dressed guests. My eye twitched. Confused, I glanced at Feifei. She leaned in. "Our moms threw this engagement party for us," she whispered. "They figured there's no time like the present since we're both back. So, they just made it happen today. Let's just get it over with," I muttered, accepting my fate. She was about to snap back, but seeing guests approaching, she smiled, hooked my arm, and pinched me hard. Once they left, we instantly let go. Just as we were about to start bickering again, Mother Lu called out, "Ah, Chen, Feifei, come here. Look at this gorgeous custom cake I ordered for your engagement party. You are going to absolutely love it." Suppressing a sigh, I called back, "Coming, we'll be right there." I dragged Feifei over. Standing there was a stunning 10-tier cake, shaped just like a castle. It was every girl's dream cake. I peeked at Feifei's reaction. Her eyes were completely glued to it, sparkling with pure joy. Suddenly, Father Lu clapped a heavy hand on my shoulder, looking serious. "Take good care of my Feifei, you hear me? I am handing her over to you. Don't let her down." Grandpa Lu nodded, his usually stern face beaming with happiness. "Seeing you two together makes me completely satisfied. As long as you both live happily, nothing else matters." He patted my shoulder too. Feifei pouted, clearly annoyed by the whole thing. "So nobody is going to ask me if I even want to marry him?" But catching her grandfather's sharp glare, she kept quiet, not daring to cause a scene in front of everyone. I officially announced that Chen and Feifei are officially engaged. Grandpa announced. "Since they are still in school, we are not rushing the wedding plans. We want them to focus on building their relationship first. Once Feifei graduates, they can have a beautiful wedding abroad." Beside me, Feifei rolled her eyes and shot me a glare. "What's your problem? I didn't say I won't marry you. Are you actually rejecting me?" Then, she subtly signaled for me to lean in. "Chen, tell me the truth. Have you always had a secret crush on me? Is that why you want to marry me so badly?" My heart raced at her rare, gentle tone, but I refused to admit it. I pulled away and scoffed. "Don't flatter yourself, princess," I replied. "Nobody has a crush on you. I was forced into this setup too, alright? If you hate it so much, let's just team up and rebel." I bet your dad loves you way too much to force you to marry someone you don't even like, I told her. Just go cry to him a little. He will definitely soften up. Maybe he'll call the whole thing off. Feifei scoffed, her stubborn pride flaring up. Why should I be the one to cancel? You tell him we aren't a match. My rebellious side kicked in immediately. I'm not saying a word. What are you going to do about it? I shot back. Then I figured she needed a reality check. Look, no matter what, this engagement is a rock-solid fact now. I highly suggest you just accept your fate. You're accepting your... I threw my hands up in defeat. I have completely made peace with it. What are you so worried about, Feifei? Even if we do officially tie the knot, it won't be until after graduation. Things could totally change by then. Maybe we won't even have to get married. Hearing my little speech, Feifei smirked. Whatever, why would I be worried? She scoffed. If we get married, we get married. It is just adding a husband to my life. Not a big deal at all. What is that supposed to mean? I asked. Oh, Chen, she smirked. You underestimate me. You know nothing about women. Want to test me? Try it, I dared her. See what happens. I didn't expect you to be so bold, she whispered. Well, my dear Chen, since you are so eager, I definitely will not hold back. Just as I was getting into it, I felt this intense stare. I quickly pulled away and realized almost every guest was watching us. Her face instantly turned bright red. We had gotten completely carried away, forgetting we were standing in the middle of our own engagement party. Talk about humiliating. Hearing the adults laughing warmly, I quickly dragged Feifei outside. This is all your fault, pinning me against the wall in front of everyone. They all saw us. Now what? She yelled. I shrugged it off completely. Who cares now? It's our engagement party anyway. What's wrong with being a little affectionate? Soon, we arrived back at our luxury apartment. When we reached the door, I unlocked it with my fingerprint. Just then Feifei's phone rang. Is it my mom? She rubbed her temples, getting a genuinely bad feeling. Feifei, I forgot to tell you, her mom continued. I had someone remodel your apartment. You two are an engaged couple now, so you'll be sharing one bedroom. It will help you bond faster, alright? Remodel? Mom, how did you even let them inside? I stepped in, immediately sensing something was way off. I looked at Feifei. Why does the place look like this? Did we get robbed? Feifei instantly realized what had happened and forced a laugh. Mom, don't tell me you remodeled Chen's room too? Of course I did, Mother Lu replied proudly. No sleeping in separate rooms. You two are sleeping together from now on. Got it? She warned. Disobey me, and I will ship you abroad right now. People get married early overseas. It is totally up to you. Okay, I get it. I also left some gifts on your bed. Mother Lu's laugh sounded way too mysterious over the phone. You can open them yourselves. I won't bother you anymore tonight. Sweet dreams. Mwah! She hung up. Feifei's bad feeling got so much worse. We walked into the bedroom and found a massive box sitting right on the mattress. Wonder what this is. I happily tore the box open. Wow, your mom is awesome. She bought us a whole box of balloons. No wait, why would she buy so many balloons?
What for?
Feifei put her phone away and stared at my shocked face. What is it? Why are you so curious? When she finally peeked inside, her face turned bright red. Her eyes darted away, completely speechless. We just stood there awkwardly for a moment, before bursting into nervous laughter. I looked at the stash. There's gotta be hundreds in here. When would we ever use all these? Who wants to use them with you? Don't flatter yourself, she snapped. Why so shy? I teased. We're officially engaged, aren't we? Gu Chen, you absolute creep. We joked around for a bit before I finally asked, so what's the plan for tonight? Her smile instantly vanished. She clearly had no idea either. I thought for a moment. It's getting pretty late. You take the bed, and I'll crash on the couch. Problem solved. Good night. Sweet dreams. Not waiting for her response, I grabbed my stuff and headed to the living room. The next morning, I sat on the couch playing on my phone, waiting for her. I waited for a long time, but she never came out. I knocked on her door. Dead silence. Taking a deep breath, I pushed it open. Lu Feifei, wake up. We are going to be late. A minute later, he rushed out of his bedroom, completely dressed. Let's go, he told me. I nodded, and we rushed to the university campus. We made it with 5 minutes to spare. Sitting at my desk, I felt relieved we weren't late. Yushin just gave me a quiet response. He smiled at me, and that slight smirk completely distracted me for a second. Then the bell rang. The professor walked in, kicking off another boring day. Halfway through the lecture, I felt totally suffocated and completely out of it. So I made up an excuse, slipped out, and headed for the campus gates. Just as I tried to leave, the security guard blocked my path. He stared at me sternly. You cannot leave without a signed hall pass. I told him I did not have one, but I really needed to step out. I explained that I already cleared it with my counselor. I only accept official passes, he snapped. Without one, you are not leaving this college campus. Call your advisor right now and have them explain it to me over the phone. I was literally skipping class. If I called my advisor, I would be completely dead meat. This guard was way too strict. I just walked away in silence, found a low brick wall, and easily hopped the fence. Once I was out, in a moment of pure impulse, I called the university dean. Hello, dean. This is Gu Chen. Your campus security guards are incredibly dedicated. Without even waiting for his reply, I hung up the phone. I headed back to my luxury apartment to sleep. The dean must have been so confused. Wondering why I brought up security, he decided to call the head guard. He asked the security office what was going on. He told them he heard they were being extremely dedicated and ordered them to investigate. The security captain was left completely speechless by the call. Being called dedicated did not sound like a compliment to him. Figuring someone caused major trouble, the captain checked the duty roster, ready to fire whoever was working just to be entirely safe. He figured the dean wouldn't care about losing one simple guard, but if he kept a troublemaker on staff, it would ruin his own career. So, the exact security guard who had just stopped me was suddenly called into the office. His boss gave a long rambling speech, but the guard only heard one sentence: "Do not come in tomorrow." He stared in disbelief while his boss looked away completely. The captain felt guilty, but the fire guard just stood there frozen. Doing his actual job had somehow been a massive mistake. Suddenly, a bright clear voice called out, "Mister, what are you doing here?" He turned around and saw a young girl with glasses standing right beside him. The guard respectfully addressed her as a wealthy young lady. Zhou Miao just laughed at that. "I am absolutely not rich. My family is totally average," she said. "You really do not need to be so formal with me." Hearing that, the guard instantly felt a connection with her working-class roots. "Thank you, young lady. You need to study hard and build a great future for yourself. I appreciate you checking on me. I just lost my job today, so I am feeling a little emotional right now." He had not planned to overshare, but she kept asking questions until he explained the entire situation. Zhou Miao frowned deeply, then gently comforted the old man. "I understand everything now," she told him. "Just go home and rest. I promise you will not be fired over this." Without even waiting for his response, she bolted straight toward the main academic building. She marched directly to my classroom, grabbed a girl who was walking through the door, and demanded to see me. The girl nodded, peeked into the room, and then stepped back out with an apologetic look. She explained that I was not in class and suggested coming back later. Zhou Miao thanked her. The very next morning, I woke up feeling perfectly refreshed. Lu Feifei and I headed to campus. Walking through the front gates, I noticed a brand new security guard. I brushed it off and walked inside. Seeing Zhou Miao ahead, I smiled and cheerfully greeted her. "Good morning, Zhou Miao," I said. She frowned, completely ignoring my greeting, and just glared at me with pure disgust. Feeling totally awkward under her stare, I finally asked who had upset her. "Tell me who it was. I will handle it," I offered. She snapped back that nobody provoked her. She was just in a bad mood. "I am powerless. Unlike you, Master Gu, the whole world caters to you. When you are unhappy, somebody always pays the price, right?" She spat. Without even giving me a second glance, she stormed down the hallway. I stood there completely stunned by her toxic attitude. It was absolutely baffling. I walked into the classroom and sat at my desk, feeling completely annoyed. Yu Xin gave me a sideways glance and actually bothered to ask what was wrong with me. I looked right at Yu Xin. Why on earth is Zhou Miao so furious? He just stared back at me, completely speechless. Seeing his confused expression, I suddenly realized I had never actually explained the situation. I sighed at my own stupidity and told him everything. Yu Xin looked thoughtful. "I remember you mentioning that. After sneaking out yesterday, you called the dean. Did you say something to him?" I thought back to it. I didn't really say much. I was just annoyed. So I told the dean his security guards were extremely dedicated. That was literally it. Yu Xin stayed silent for a second before letting out a heavy sigh. "If I were the dean and I got that random phone call from you, I would immediately question my staff. And they probably took it the completely wrong way. As for Zhou Miao being so angry, it is likely just empathy." I stared at him, totally lost. "What do you mean by empathy?" "I thought you two were close," he replied. I begged him to just explain it. Yu Xin told me she had top-tier test scores, so the university recruited her with a massive academic scholarship. She only accepted the offer because her family is completely broke. I was genuinely shocked by that. Her clothes never looked cheap to me, but maybe that was just because she carried herself like a wealthy socialite, making any outfit look highly expensive. Yu Xin promised it was the absolute truth. Everyone knew she came from a working-class, single-parent household. Honestly, the rumor was that her mother had been treated terribly by rich employers in the past, causing Zhou Miao to hate wealthy people. I could not believe the heavy drama. No wonder she was being so incredibly hostile. She clearly misunderstood my entire situation with the guard. "You have seen guys asking her out all over campus, right?" Yu Xin pointed out. "Those guys are mostly spoiled rich kids, so you can imagine, they definitely got rejected immediately." I asked if her attitude would change if a normal guy asked her out instead. Yu Xin shrugged. He had never seen anyone try it. It made sense. Our college campus was incredibly elite. Almost every student here came from massive wealth. Only a tiny fraction were recruited purely for their academic scores. And those scholarship guys were usually way too insecure to ever confess their feelings to her. I finally nodded in understanding. Thanks to Yu Xin's breakdown, it clicked. She saw the fired guard and immediately thought of her mom. She saw him getting pushed around by someone with money. So, basically, Yushin said, she thinks you crushed that poor security guard just because you were annoyed. I groaned. I swear, I never meant to. I was slightly mad at the time, but I am absolutely not the type of villain to abuse my power. Yushin let out another heavy sigh, his calm voice cutting through the noise. This is not the first time it has happened, he said. The real world preys on the weak. Hearing that, I knew I was absolutely responsible for causing this entire mess. I knew exactly how to fix it. Yushin asked what I was going to do. Suddenly, the whole classroom went dead silent. We looked up. The professor was staring a hole directly through me. You are actively distracting the other students. Take it outside, he snapped. We shared a look and immediately shut our mouth. The second class ended. I sprinted down the hall to track down Zhou Miao. Reaching her classroom door, I stopped a random girl. Hey, could you grab Zhou Miao for Gu Chen? She smirked. Oh, it is you. Confessing your love this early in the day? Gotta respect the dedication. He grinned. I'm rooting for you, I sighed. That's not why I'm looking for her. Whatever, I'll get her. Since you're so handsome, I'll do you a favor. I think you have a good shot. Make it count. I heard him shout, Zhou Miao, there's a really handsome guy outside for you named Gu Chen. I waited outside, worried she might ignore me. But to my surprise, she actually walked out. You have business with me? Her tone was icy cold. It stung a little. She was definitely still misunderstanding me. Just give me a few minutes. Let's step outside. She nodded. We left the classroom and headed to the empty space by the building. I glanced around. Once I made sure no one was watching, I looked at her dead in the eye. About the security guard. I didn't do it. Getting him fired doesn't benefit me at all. Don't worry, I'll fix this. But Zhou Miao was already furious. You don't even know how this whole thing started, yet you're pinning the blame entirely on me. Do you think that's fair? I spun around, ready to leave. She stared at me, completely stunned by how seeing me walk away, she suddenly ran forward. I'm sorry. I froze but didn't look back. She said it again. I'm sorry. After hearing me out, she realized she was wrong. She thought I was just like all the other guys, approaching her with some ulterior motive. So she naturally assumed I was just another entitled jerk throwing his weight around to bully people. She never expected me to explain the guard situation so earnestly. Realizing this, she gave a soft, gentle smile. I finally turned around and teased, your apology is accepted, but I'm not ready to forgive you. I shook off her hand and left. Zhou Miao stood there, watching me walk away. Next, I marched straight to the principal's office. The bell had already rung, but I didn't care. I barged right in. We need to talk. The secretary chased after me, breathless. Oh, sorry, sir. I couldn't stop him. The principal rubbed his forehead in pain, ready to scream at whoever burst in. But the second he saw it was me, he instantly slapped on a huge smile. Ah, young Master Gu, what brings you here? Come, sit down, you, get out for a second. Gu and I have business to discuss. The secretary's jaw dropped. It was probably her first time seeing the principal acting this sweet and obedient to a student. Catching his glare, she scurried out the door. Instead of sitting, I marched right up to his desk and slammed my hand down. Why did you do it? All I did was praise the school's security guard for doing his job. Yes, I admit my tone yesterday was awful, but that wasn't what I meant at all. The principal panicked. Fired? I just told the head of security to look into the situation. I never said anything about firing him. I didn't want him gone. I stared him down. Uncle, you need to rehire that guard. Bring him back. Seriously, let him return to work. He's incredibly dedicated. Having someone that committed to his job is something we should be proud of. He thought it over for a second. All right, fine. If you're insisting, I can't really say no. But Gu Chen, you can't keep doing this. You can't just throw a tantrum and cause trouble everywhere. We're adults now. You need to take responsibility for your own actions. His words actually hit me hard. I stood there, letting it sink in. Once I realized he was right, I gave him a slight bow. You're right, I messed up here. Tell you what, when you bring that guard back, give him a raise. I'll cover the difference out of my own pocket. Put it under my name. With that, I pulled out my phone and transferred the funds right to him. Then, I headed out. Stepping out of that office, I felt instantly lighter. With the mess finally sorted out, I let out a huge sigh of relief and hummed a tune all the way back to the academic building. Right on the way, I bumped into Lu Feifei. I looked at her, totally confused. Where are you off to? She froze, didn't say a word, just crossed her arms and glared at me. Her intense stare made me really uncomfortable. Finally, she broke the silence. What were you doing in the principal's office? You went there just for Zhou Miao's sake, didn't you? Talk to me. What? How do you even know Zhou Miao? She bit her lip and muttered. She and I have history. Obviously I know her. Then she shot me a look of pure disappointment. Gu Chen, you absolute jerk. The second you see a pretty girl, you lose your mind and throw yourself right at them. She scoffed. It all makes perfect sense to me now. That young lady you kept mentioning earlier was Zhou Miao. And when you suddenly jumped out of the car earlier, that was because you spotted her too, wasn't it? That's why you ditched me. She glared at me. What is your problem? If you're not into me, just say it. It's not like I'm going to desperately cling to you. Tears welled up in her eyes. Seeing her cry broke my heart a little. I softened my voice, trying to calm her down. Feifei, I didn't mean it like that. I swear, I only see her as a friend. A friend? A video of you two flirting is already all over the school. Right now, everyone knows you're the first guy Zhou Miao has ever shown any interest in. I frowned. What video? Flirting? What are you talking about? She yanked out her phone and shoved a video in my face. I leaned in. Unbelievably, it was a clip of my conversation with Zhou Miao from just a few minutes ago. Since it was shot from far away, you couldn't hear a word, but our body language was crystal clear. To anyone else, it looked incredibly romantic. No, you're totally misunderstanding this. Misunderstanding what? She interrogated me. Did you go look for her, or not? Were you two holding hands or not? And that person who gave you directions, the one you wanted to treat to dinner to say thanks. That was her, wasn't it? Tell me the truth. You've only known her for a few days and you're already this obsessed? Does she even have a clue that you already have a girlfriend? She yelled. She hammered her fists against my chest, over and over. I'd say a word. Honestly, I just felt completely exhausted. I rubbed my face, feeling incredibly wronged myself. First, I got totally misunderstood by Zhou Miao for absolutely no reason, and now even Lu Feifei refused to trust me. Wow. This was just brilliant. She had run off, hiding right in the corner of the stairwell. Apparently, when she realized I wasn't chasing her yet, she angrily buried her face in her knees, muttering nonsense to herself. You big idiot! Tears were pouring down her face again. She was sobbing quietly, trying to suppress the sound. She probably hadn't cried like this in years. Growing up, she was always her family's precious little princess. She had never suffered this much grievance in her life. And me. How could I treat her like that? The more she thought about it, the angrier and more heartbroken she got. I let her cry for God knows how long. Finally, I stepped right into her tear-blurred line of sight. Feifei. She must have thought I finally found my brain and came to find her. She was crying so pitifully, literally like a tiny wronged little rabbit. Are you okay? I snapped out of my own daze, while Lu Feifei suddenly felt super awkward. She clearly didn't want me seeing her looking this messy. Hey, how did you find me here? Hearing her raspy voice, I frowned. How long have you been crying here? Lu Feifei didn't answer. She just stood up and mumbled, let's go, let's talk outside. We strolled down the empty campus paths. Since classes were going on, it was completely dead quiet. I looked at her. Are you heading back to class? She thought about it and shook her head. No, I don't want to. Even without a mirror, she knew exactly how red her eyes were. Going back meant dealing with nosy classmates. Now, even though the campus was huge, pacing around was drawing unwanted attention. So we ducked to a small park. We opened our mouths at the exact same time. I'm sorry, my fault. We both froze, then cracked a smile. Sorry, Feifei. I shouldn't have treated you like that. Zhou Miao and I really are just friends. I never wanted her to become a wedge between us. And about dinner, I swear, I only wanted to thank her, and as for that video, I was literally about to walk away. She's the one who grabbed my arm. After that, we kept our distance, she sighed. I was wrong too. She pouted. I should trusted you. Honestly, I was just super jealous, seeing you getting so close to Zhou Miao. It felt like you completely forgot about me. That's why I was so heartbroken. Even though I'm still really furious with you, you did manage to track me down in that stairwell eventually. You did good, and I did completely misunderstand you. So, we're even now. I forgive you, she admitted softly. Let's just head home. You need to put some ice on those eyes. Otherwise, you're going to look like a giant panda tomorrow. Lu Feifei glared at me again, and I burst out laughing. I threw an arm over his shoulder and we headed home. We were exhausted from the day, so we just washed up and crashed. The next morning at school, I was walking toward the building when Zhou Miao's back caught my eye again. So I quickly checked in with Lu Feifei. I need to talk to Zhou Miao. We didn't finish yesterday's conversation. Worried she might get mad again, I hurriedly added a promise. I will be quick, back in 5 minutes. After saying that, I immediately sprinted over, leaving Lu Feifei to softly scoff and step aside to wait for me. Zhou Miao. Wait a second, I called out to him. Zhou Miao turned around and smiled warmly. Good morning, Gu Chen. I brought up the security guard situation. Listening to me, he replied in complete surprise. He said he never expected I would actually go to the principal. I already had him rehire the guard, so please do not worry. Zhou Miao then apologized again, saying he completely misunderstood me and was truly sorry. It is no big deal. Anyway, I need to head back to class. See you later. Then found Lu Feifei, and we headed off together. Reaching my own classroom, I parted ways with her. I was just about to walk inside when Zhou Miao's figure passed by again. It was almost time for the bell. Why was he not heading to class? With only 1 minute left, my curiosity won, and I followed him. Meanwhile, the moment Lu Feifei took her seat, her smile vanished, replaced by an icy glare. Wu Qian. Wu Qian walked over trembling and carefully asked what she needed. Lu Feifei's slender fingers began tapping against the desk. She drummed her nails, looking extremely annoyed. After a long pause, she finally spoke. Go to the second classroom on the 3rd floor and do something for me. Wu Qian agreed obediently, anxiously, awaiting the rest of her orders. See if Gu Chen is in his classroom right now, she commanded, and watch exactly who he talks to. Report every single detail back to me, but do not let him notice you. Do you hear me? Understood. Lu Feifei waved her hand, her tense expression relaxing slightly, as a faint smile appeared. I will go right now, Wu Qian said, rushing out. But barely down the hall, she bumped into Bai Qingrong, a handsome sophomore. He was the most attractive guy around, Lu Feifei's #1 admirer, and proudly called himself her boyfriend. Spotting him, Wu Qian immediately sucked up to him. Hey, brother-in-law, are you looking for the young lady? She is waiting. Bai Qingrong had pale skin and a naturally distant aura, but when he smiled, that coldness instantly melted. He nodded gently and asked where she was rushing off to, and if she was buying something for her. Actually, she told me to go to the 3rd floor to look for someone. He asked who, and she said a guy named Gu Chen. Wu Qian always tried to flatter the men around Lu Feifei, so she answered honestly. Gu Chen? What exactly is his relationship with Lu Feifei? Wu Qian looked incredibly conflicted. Honestly, I have no idea. I am just following her strict orders. She would never dare hide anything from Bai Qingrong. Even though she did not know how long he would last by Lu Feifei's side, doing him favors to build a good connection was always a smart survival strategy in this school. Who knows, maybe that connection would be useful later. He suddenly laughed and told Wu Qian he was thirsty. He asked her to run to the campus store and grab some drinks first, and to get one for Feifei too. Seeing Wu Qian hesitate, Bai Qingrong glared sharply. Who is more important, Gu Chen or me? Weigh it yourself. Looking at his incredibly arrogant expression, Wu Qian thought about how heavily favored he had been by her lately. He was so adored, he might actually break the record and become the longest-lasting boyfriend Lu Feifei ever had. Besides, the wealthy young miss had not shown any signs of getting bored of him yet. She did not have any new targets either. Weighing her options, Wu Qian decided Bai Qingrong was still the safer bet. She immediately put on a sycophantic smile and told him he was obviously the top priority. I will go buy them right now. Do not worry. With me here, Feifei will not get mad. I can grab the drinks first and still have plenty of time to go find this Gu Chen guy. Absolutely. One word from you, brother-in-law, is worth 10 from anyone else. He told her to hurry up and stop kissing up. Watching Wu Qian scurry away toward the campus store, Bai Qingrong finally pulled his gaze back. He strolled slowly into the classroom and called out to Feifei. As soon as he walked through the door, he headed straight for her desk. The seat right next to Lu Feifei was always intentionally left empty. It was exclusively reserved for her boyfriends to use. Bai Qingrong sat down in the chair, smoothly wrapping his arm around her shoulder and leaning in affectionately. When Lu Feifei did not respond, he realized the classroom's vibe felt weirdly tense. Looking up and seeing her deadpan, expressionless face, he was genuinely startled. Feigning absolute sweetness, he asked what was wrong and who made her mad. Lu Feifei was already annoyed, and seeing him just made it significantly worse. Why are you here? She snapped. I missed you, Bai Qingrong replied, staring at her deeply. But she was not paying any attention. Her mind was entirely hooked on something else. He felt a sharp sting of dissatisfaction. Still, he did not dare show his anger. His instincts were screaming that she was definitely thinking about Gu Chen. A moment later, Wu Qian rushed back with the drinks. She stopped at the door, panting heavily, gripping 2 bottles. She walked over and set them down on the desk. Here are your drinks, miss. Lu Feifei slowly shifted her icy gaze from the plastic bottles up to Wu Qian's face. Did I ever tell you to buy drinks? I told her to buy them, Bai Qingrong interjected. I was worried you would be thirsty. The air in the room froze for a split second. Suddenly, Lu Feifei shot him a detached glare and told him to disappear. I never want to see you again. He stared at her, completely stunned and panicked, never expecting her to explode like this. Feifei, I know I messed up. Please do not kick me out. But he had horribly miscalculated. Lu Feifei had absolutely zero patience to baby him today. Do not make me repeat myself. She snapped her attention back to Wu Qian. Did you finish the task I gave you? Wu Qian quietly said she had not. Please do not be mad. I will go right now. Bai Qingrong stared at Lu Feifei in utter disbelief. So, what you are saying is, you want to break up with me? It was as if he desperately needed confirmation. Only then would he accept this brutal reality. Lu Feifei nodded coldly. Exactly. Starting today, do not ever show your face in front of me again. He quickly asked why. How could she be so heartless? Everyone knew the rumors, that the heiress was never loyal. She would treat you perfectly while dating, but cut you off ruthlessly the second it ended. Nobody should ever expect her to hold on to past sentiments. Yet, he had genuinely believed he was the exception. Her words struck him like a violent bolt of lightning. But for all the other guys in the room, it was incredible news. Every single boy in that class had fought hard. They all squeezed in just to get close to her, hoping to score points by proximity. And now, the grand prize was single again. Their chances had instantly skyrocketed. Naturally, they did not hold back their absolute disdain for the newly dumped ex. They immediately started jeering at him. Get out of here. Have you got no shame at all? The lady told you to leave, yet you are still clinging like a total creep. Hurry up and beat it. Yeah, and you are banned from our classroom. someone yelled. Can't you see, she is completely disgusted by you? Who do you even think you are? Roll out of here before you hurt her eyes any further. Bai Qingrong's face turned completely ghostly white. He had never suffered such massive humiliation in his life. Ever since arriving at Shangde, his good looks and sheer luck had fast-tracked him into being her boyfriend, earning him the peak title of campus idol. Shangde Academy had a golden unspoken rule. Whoever dated Lu Feifei automatically became the reigning king of the school. He had basked in that glory, feeling utterly untouchable. But the higher the pedestal, the more brutal the crash back to reality. Finally breaking under the cruel taunts, Bai Qingrong turned and bolted from the room. Lu Feifei did not even spare him a passing glance. She just coldly swept her eyes across the classroom, and instantly, every single person snapped their mouths shut. A deep, unexplainable sense of panic was gnawing at her chest now. She had no idea why she felt so incredibly unsettled. Just as she was about to stand up, Wu Qian came rushing back in a frantic sprint, yelling about the guy. He is not in his classroom. His classmates said he walked in and then immediately stepped right back out. He has not returned since. Lu Feifei's distant tone completely cracked, asking what she meant. He didn't go back? Then where the hell is he? No wonder she had been feeling so incredibly anxious. Her worst premonitions were actually coming true. I honestly don't know. Wu Qian was secretly extremely baffled by the whole bizarre situation. What kind of relationship did this Gu Chen guy actually have with her? How could a random student make her care this much? Lu Feifei frowned sharply, standing up abruptly. Even if we have to flip this entire campus upside down, find him. Had I seriously offended Lu Feifei? It was their first time seeing her this furious. Her face was dark. Wu Qian's was sweating cold bullets, noticing the staring classmates. Everyone was confused, wondering what happened and who she was hunting down. Nobody dared to ask or even breathe loudly. She radiated pure danger. Once Feifei finally left the classroom, the others exchanged nervous glances and started whispering. Did you see that? Her face was absolutely terrifying. I have never seen her this angry before. Who do you think she is actually looking for? What did that guy do to make her so mad? He is totally doomed. Feifei is terrifying when she loses it. Exactly. Wu Qian became her loyal sidekick not just by kissing up, but because she got things done fast. She rushed to question the security guards. Meanwhile, Feifei was pacing the hallway, totally anxious, and lost on what to do next. So she found an empty classroom to sit and wait. Wu Qian returned to report that no student had left campus today. That meant I was still somewhere inside the school. Hearing this, her expression finally softened. She ordered Wu Qian to spread the word. They would tear the whole campus apart just to find me. Shangdi's campus was huge, but with her massive influence, tracking me down should have been a total breeze, even effortless. But to her complete shock, they could not find me anywhere. She glared furiously at Wu Qian. How can you not find him? Wu Qian was dripping with cold sweat, far too terrified to even wipe it off. She stammered nervously. We searched absolutely everywhere. We even checked the teachers' offices and all the student dorms, but he is just nowhere to be found. Maybe he is not in the school anymore. Not in the school? Did he grow wings and fly away? The guards swore they never saw me leave. If I am still inside the school, where else could I have possibly run off to? I really do not get it either, miss. Wait, maybe he found another way to sneak out. A secret route the guards would not notice. Or he simply avoided the main gate entirely. Feifei fell completely silent. She did not reply right away. I had just transferred to Shangde, so I could not possibly know any secret exit. But honestly, it was the only logical explanation left on the table. Because otherwise, how could I have just vanished into thin air? She did not believe in ghosts, so a supernatural event was out of the question. But I had not told her anything either. Where on earth did I go? Disappearing so mysteriously. What if I was in real danger? She was terrified I might have gotten into a terrible accident. She barely dared to think about it. Wu Qian was Shangde's local know-it-all. She knew almost everything about the school. So she quickly put the pieces together. If I did not leave through the main gates, what other ways were there to sneak out unnoticed? Wait a minute, miss. Doesn't the school have security cameras? If we check these exact spots, we might find a clue. Feifei had been too anxious and completely forgot about this. She nodded firmly. Let's do that right now. We are checking the footage. Wu Qian looked awkwardly at her and said, but only the principal has access to the security footage. I do not have the clearance for that. So you have to handle this in person, miss. Feifei coldly replied, I got it. She marched straight toward the principal's office. Wu Qian hurried quickly right behind her. Inside the principal's office, the leather chair behind the big desk was entirely taken over by Feifei. Miss Lu, this is the school's surveillance system. There are exactly 300 camera feeds in total. You can check them however you want. 300? That is a lot. Feifei frowned deeply. Wu Qian knew exactly what that annoyed expression meant, so she instantly stepped forward and said, Miss, why don't you let me search for him? No need, I will do it myself. Wu Qian was a bit surprised but did not dare to argue. She took a step back, waiting for orders. Feifei's slender fingers expertly tapped across the keyboard. Even though it was her very first time using the system, she navigated it like a pro. Without asking the principal for help, she controlled it perfectly. Wu Qian watched in absolute shock. Even though she knew Feifei mostly used computers just for gaming, her technical skills were totally masterful. Wu Qian had followed her for so long, yet she never realized Feifei was secretly this amazing. Very quickly, Feifei pulled up the specific locations Wu Qian mentioned. She played 6 videos simultaneously on fast forward. She processed everything instantly, staring without blinking at the bright screens. Wu Qian stood behind her, feeling her eyes spinning after just 10 minutes. Her eyes felt incredibly dry and sore, but Feifei seemed completely unaffected and actually sped the footage up even more. Another 10 minutes passed. Wu Qian felt her head throbbing, barely holding on, but she did not dare slack off and kept staring at the video feeds. Suddenly, Feifei shouted out loud, "I found him!" Wu Qian jumped in pure surprise and hurried straight to the glowing screen. On the security monitor there I was, slowly strolling down the quiet trail near the campus back mountain. I held a freshly bought soda in my hand, looking completely relaxed. Feifei tapped her fingers extremely hard on the wooden desk. Her tight expression finally relaxed just a little bit. Half angry and half relieved she muttered, "He actually hid in the back mountain. Guchen, you absolute jerk. I almost went crazy searching for you." Wu Qian, seeing her boss acting so anxious and annoyed, could not help but whisper, "Are you going to the back mountain to catch him now, miss?" Feifei took a deep breath, suppressing her frantic panic, and immediately stood up to head outside. "Of course I am. I need to ask him why he vanished without a word and made the entire campus search for him." Meanwhile, I had enjoyed the cool breeze on the mountain and was just planning to head back to class. When I saw Feifei walking aggressively right toward me, her eyes were slightly red. She was clearly worried, absolutely sick. My heart instantly softened. Just as I opened my mouth to apologize, she marched straight up to me and lightly punched me right in the chest. "Gu Chen. Do you have any idea how worried I was? I thought something terrible happened to you. I tore the entire school apart. I even checked the security cameras. And here you are just hiding and slacking off. Class was way too boring, so I just wanted some fresh air. I never meant to make you panic. I am so sorry, Feifei." I quickly grabbed her hands and gently explained myself. She glared sharply at me, but she did not pull her hands away. "Do not ever do this again. If you want to leave, you tell me first." I small nodded, reaching out to softly ruffle her hair. "I got it, my sweet fiancé." Hearing that word, her cheeks instantly turned bright red. She gave me a playful little push. "Who is your fiancé? Do not flatter yourself." Watching her shy, embarrassed expression, my heart was completely filled with pure warmth. From being totally forced into our engagement, to bickering as roommates, and even that silly misunderstanding over Zhou Miao. I realized that I've already fallen hard for this childhood sweetheart I grew up arguing with. As for Zhou Miao, I made things completely clear. We were simply just friends. She understood my feelings and smiled, wishing Feifei and me the absolute best. Yushin kept that cool, aloof vibe, occasionally saying hello. We maintained the perfect, respectful distance as classmates. As for the poor security guard who got fired over our mess, I made the principal rehire him and personally paid to raise his salary. The guy thanked me endlessly. I finally understood that I could not just act recklessly because of my wealthy family background. I needed to respect everyone. Feifei also completely cut ties with Bai Qingrong, focusing entirely on us. We were no longer those wildly stubborn kids acting out like before. We went to class together, left campus together, and headed back to our apartment together. We still bickered, but always made up fast. Soon enough, we proudly graduated. The Liu family stopped pressuring us, choosing to respect our timeline entirely, and waited until we were genuinely ready to host a beautifully warm wedding. On our big day, Feifei wore a stunning white gown, smiling at me with eyes completely full of tenderness. I held her warm hands tight, and right there, surrounded by our cheering friends and family, I made a solemn vow. "Feifei, we have argued since we were little kids. I genuinely thought we would always be rivals, but now I finally realize you are the one person I want to cherish forever. I promise to take good care of you, and we will never drift apart." "Guchen, I do." Feifei replied with tear-filled eyes and a beautiful smile. My dad, her parents, and her grandpa sat in the front row, completely beaming with pride. The house staff clapped cheerfully. Zhou Miao and Yushin were there too, offering us their most sincere blessings. After the wedding, we stayed just as sweet as when we were first dating. We often laughed about our silly childhood fights. I finally understood that the best kind of love is never about some incredibly dramatic romance. It is about growing up together. It is about wanting to spend your whole life with someone, even after a million arguments. From then on, Feifei and I stayed right by each other's side, living happily and cherishing every single day, and life became the absolute picture of happiness.